Hey guys, so I'm awkward. Throw that out there. But I'm gonna do like a little basic makeup tutorial. I guess everybody keeps saying they want to just see like an everyday wearable type thing. So, all right, I like to start with some sort of I like a priming spray. My skin tends to be pretty dry, so a spray, especially like this one, makes me more glowy and dewy. So just kind of spray that all over. And then this little guy. It's important. Okay, so if I'm going to do something more bold with my eyes, I will always start with my eyes. But I'm not today. So I am going to start, I'm going to put, I like to put a little bit of highlight under my foundation, like a liquid highlight. Just tends to make it look more natural. So I like the Laura Geller Dew Dreamer drops. This is the shade Ballerina. Put a little bit of that just on the high points of my cheeks. Okay. Maybe go up on the brow bone a little bit. All right, so my everyday wear foundation when I leave the house, which is not currently happening, is Too Faced Born This Way. And I use the shade Warm Nude, just about a pump and a half on my hand. Going with a damp beauty sponge. This one I believe is made by maybe Wander Beauty. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. I make a lot of weird faces. Helps to get in all of those little crevices, you know? Feel free to really go ham, you know, with the Beauty Blender. Really get it in there. The more you push it, press it into the skin, the more airbrushed and natural and flawless it's gonna look. Good job. Okay, so concealer. I am gonna use the Tarte Creaseless Concealer in the shade Fair Beige. This stuff is pretty intense, so like honestly, just a little bit will do ya. And kind of down the middle of the face, along the jawline. I also use this as my eye primer. So when I blend into my under eye, I also will take it up onto my lids, and that just helps to lock all of your powder products into place. Adds a little bit of extra pigment and blendability. I like to blend my forehead highlight out above my brow bones because I think it makes it look more natural than if you just have it going right here. Blend the jaw highlight downward. Okie dokie. Okay. All right. So to set, I use the RCMA No Color Powder. It's pretty old school. It's my preference. Okay, I go in with the same Beauty Blender. And really work that in so that you don't look powdery. Again, it gives you more of an airbrush finish the longer you work on your blending. Okay, and then for the rest of the face, I just use a big old powder brush. I think this one's Vanity Planet, just big, rounded. I like to start with the areas where I applied the concealer and then kind of blend outward with it. Adds a little bit of added highlight and accentuation to those high points. Okay. I like to do a touch test. Feel everything. If there's any stickiness at all, that shit ain't gonna last all day. So that's when you need to add more powder. Okay. So now I am going to, I don't know, what do I want to do next? Probably brows. If I go any further without brows, I'm gonna look like a crazy person. Maybelline's Tattoo Studio Brow Pomade in 378 Ash Brown and Anastasia's brush number 12. It has this very fine end and a spoolie. So I spoolie my brows upward to accentuate the lower part. Okay, and I always start at the lower arch, like the under part of the arch. And I always take it down a little bit past where my brow naturally ends. Add a little drama. And then I take it from the inner corner up to the beginning of that line there. Get a little bit more product. And then I do the same with the top of the arch, but I'm going to extend it up just a little bit to make my brows have more of an arch. So there's my natural brow, and there's my brow with makeup on. I do like to go darker on the outer corners, or the tails, if you will. And then I won't get any more product on my brush. I'm just gonna make it more natural on the inner part there. And then I like to squeeze my brush to make it really super fine and get just the tiniest amount of product on the brush. And then I do small hair strokes on the inner corners. Blend it with the spoolie. And we've got 2 brows now. I look crazy. Okie doke. Moving on. So now I'm going to contour. What am I looking for? Okay. I like to use Hoola by Benefit. It looks like that. And I use another Vanity Planet brush. This is actually an angled blush brush, but I love it to contour. You want to start more or less at the top of your ear and work towards the corner of your lip. Very softly touch the skin with the brush and work it upward. I like to go kind of up like this, and then I'll go kind of up like this. And then I'll go in with a little bit more product, and I like to twirl it. I don't know if that's what that's called, but just continue to carve out your cheekbones. It gives your face more of a feminine kind of bone structure. Okay. So you can see the difference. Not contoured, contoured. Okay, and then I'm going to take some more product, and I like to work from the temple towards the center of my forehead. And I'll do it on one side and then continue it on the other. Fill in my hairline a little bit. Okay, and then just blend all of that really, really well. I like to always make sure and go over everything like 87 times. Okay, next. I'm gonna go in with this little brush. This is just a cheap e.l.f. brush. It's technically for blending in your crease. I like to use it to contour my nose. So I always start right here, very, very gently. You barely want the brush to touch your skin, so no pressure whatsoever. Right there, and then I like to go right here because I have a weird nose, and that kind of tones it down. Same for the other side. Slimming my nose, making it look more feminine again. And then just a tiny bit right underneath, and then a little more under the bottom lip. It makes that bottom lip look just a little bit poutier. Okay, so I'm contoured. Again, we're going every day, so a little bit lighter. Okay, let's see. Okay, so for blush, I think my most used blush is probably Luminoso by Milani. This guy, god damn it. It has kind of like a little bit of a shimmer, but it's more of a glow. And then for blush, I always use the Morphe E4. This is another angled blush brush. Work from the edge of the apples. I don't like to go full apple. I go the edge of the apples up the cheekbones. It just adds just a little something something. Okay. Now, I am going to go in with the Kat Von D Metal Crush Liquid Highlighter in the shade Gamma Ray. There's already some out. Okay, so I just do like a little here, little here. Yeah, this is pretty intense. So blend it a little bit with the applicator, and then I like to blend it the rest of the way with my finger. Take it up on the brow bone. It's a nice, natural, but also intense liquid highlight. And I'm just kind of using this as a base because normally I use Mary Luminizer by The Balm every day of my life. Seriously. It's really something. See that? It's just perfection still after all these years. This is probably like the 20th one of these that I've gone through. Okay. So my face is pretty much done. I'm gonna do my eyes now. My must-have everyday natural kind of palette is the Too Faced Born This Way Natural Nudes palette. It looks like this. It's perfect. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Morphe R37. It's a little bit tapered, very, very fluffy. And I think I'm going to go in with the shade Warm Rose. It's kind of a dusty rose, but neutral. Okay, start with that guy. Up, I go above my crease always. My eyes are slightly hooded, so I have to kind of create a crease that makes my eyes look more the way that I want them. So I go in windshield wiper motions, and then I'll go up and kind of swirl towards the brow. And see just that little bit of product. I don't know if you can really see a difference with this lighting, but it makes a big difference. Okay. And then I'm going to go in just a little bit darker with this shade, Cocoa. And I like to use the Morphe M433 for that. It's flatter, still fluffy. So I'll pick up a little bit of that, and I'm just gonna put it in the outer corner, just back and forth, a little bit of patting, and then once all the product has left the brush, I will do a small flick towards the brow bone and then blend that into the upper crease. And that draws the eye up this direction, giving it more of an almond shape. Okay, and then just to blend that a little bit better, I'll go back in with that first brush that still has a tiny bit of that rose gold shade or whatever, warm rose, and just blend a little bit more. Keep everything very natural. I'm going to add a little more of that cocoa shade. Okay. Now, to add a tiny bit of drama and accentuate the inner corners, which again is in attempts to bring my eyes out like this, I'm going to use this shade Shimmering Pearl. I'll apply it with my finger just to the inner corner, blending into that darker shade in the outer corner. Okay. All right, so now I'm gonna go in with a thin flat brush. This is the Morphe M432, and I'm gonna take that into Truffle, the darkest brown in there, and I'm just barely gonna put a little on the brush, and I'm just gonna apply it to the very outer corner of my eye. Okay, and then I'll go in with this, what is this? Moda Pro brush, 420 detail brush, just a little tapered pencil brush. And I'm gonna take that in that warm rose shade that I used first and just blend that darker shade out and blend towards the inner corner. You can even drag it down a little bit like this just to really smoke it out. I'm trying really hard not to make stupid faces, but I'm not very good at that. Okay, there's that. So now I am going to go in with the Tarte Maneater liquid liner. I know this seems intimidating to someone who does not do this pretty regularly, but it really isn't. You just have to steady your arm. I rest my arm on the surface of my vanity, and it makes a huge difference. Okay, so start on the very inner corner. You just barely want to touch. See, it's a very thin line. It's just accentuating my lash line. That's it. That's all for the liner. It's really pretty simple. Okay, so this is Hollywood and Vine Velvet Touch Smooth Kohl Eyeliner. Any black pencil liner will work for this. You want to get along the top waterline. This is called tight lining. I will show you the difference. Okay. So now I'm going to go back in with Mary Luminizer by The Balm. And where'd you go? This guy, this is, it's a Vanity Planet, it's an eye crease brush. I'm using it to highlight my brow bone. And my inner corners. You want everything to be darker towards the outside, lighter towards the inside. It elongates the eyes, makes them look bigger, more almond shaped. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go in with a regular lash curler and curl the shit out of my lashes. I'm gonna go in with Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. Wiggle back and forth all the way. Okay, for the bottom lashes, I like to do something with just a very, very thin wand, and the Hank and Henry, what is this? Slick With Me Mascara Duo in the shade Clout. It's very, all right. Now I'm gonna do lips. Okay, so this is the Kylie liner in the shade Coconut. And I like to put it all over. I'm a line and fill kind of girl. So I'm going to go in with Mannequin by Jeffree Star. That is my ride or die. That's my everyday. And then just for a tiny bit of extra emphasis, I will go in with the Laura Geller 2 Dreamer Drops again. I like to put those up here and right there. There we go. And that is it. That's just an easy everyday. I know I say easy and everyday, and this video has taken me 42 minutes to film. However, I have been talking through it, and had I not been, I could have done this in 20 minutes. So, yeah. Now you know.